Calgary, Alberta, June 1987. A training session for the Canadian national men's and women's speed skating teams in the new Olympic Oval, the first covered 400-meter speed skating oval in North America. 200 meters by 90, some 4.5 acres. An area large enough to hold 2 football fields or 5 hockey rinks, with permanent seating for more than 4,000. Cost of construction, only $28 million.
Well, the Olympic Oval is part of an overall physical education complex on the campus, and
John Tunyan, Olympic Projects Coordinator for the University of Calgary.
the speed skating oval will be used during the Winter Olympics for the speed skating events, but more importantly, post-Olympics, it will be part of the overall physical education complex.
1984, site of the Olympic Oval. The University of Calgary will own the building to be erected here. One concern was that such a structure might dominate the campus skyline, but there was the need for a year-round sports field house.
The oval will be used post-Olympics 1/3 of the time by certified carded speed skaters, 1/3 of the time by the university students, and the other third by the public of Calgary. It's really going to be a great asset to this community.
By autumn 1984, the conceptual design of the one-of-a-kind Olympic Oval was virtually complete. Architect and prime consultant, Barry Graham.
Well, I think the building definitely represented an opportunity for a Calgary or Alberta-based group of consultants to present their capabilities and do a unique building, and it's, of course, for an international stage, for a world event, and I think it really demonstrates the capability in both design and technically to deliver a building that's world class.
My name is Norman Wagner. I'm the president of the University of Calgary. And
October 9th, 1984. Official signing of the project funding agreement between the University of Calgary and the Government of Canada.
Before I begin, you know, all these Calgarians keep telling me these last couple of days.
The Honorable Otto Jelinek, Minister of State for Fitness and Amateur Sport, announced details of the covered speed skating oval. A covered speed skating oval was not an international Olympic requirement.
This enclosed speed skating oval provides an ideal environment for training of speed skaters because we don't have to worry about the weather. We don't have to worry about snow and cold temperatures and changing ice conditions. So,
OCO 88 speed skating chairman, Klaas Schipper.
Without having to worry about anything else. Also, the athletes feel much more relaxed in this kind of atmosphere. They can dress lightly. They don't have to worry about keeping their toes warm or keeping their faces from freezing.
Late November 1984. To help achieve a low profile, the oval would be recessed 4 meters below grade. Removal of most of the lightly frozen overburden now would permit a much earlier spring construction start.
Primarily the general contractor, whom I represent, was the single contracting party with the University of Calgary for the construction of the entire facility.
Peter Franklin, Oval Project Manager and Vice President of W.A. Stevenson.
Contractors and obviously the workforce, in concert with the design team and the university's representatives, created the team that brought this facility to a successful conclusion.
March 11th, 1985. Over 300 concrete piles will be required to help support the massive roof load. Each pile is 1,200 millimeters in diameter, 4 feet. The piles extend 18 meters, 60 feet below grade level. Since no theoretical data existed for structures of the magnitude of the oval, The size of the pilings required was determined by comprehensive on-site lateral load tests carried out in the fall of 1984. At that time, it was vital to know the capability of vertical concrete piles in resisting the unprecedented horizontal thrusts from the roof structure. August, a key factor in the roof support system, the first of the 28 buttresses which will transmit the roof load into the foundations. Each buttress will carry a thrust of 2 million pounds, the weight of 700 automobiles. September 1985. The Canadian men's speed skating team chose a foggy day for their first visit to the Oval. They would return to train in less than 2 years. Late November, perimeter roof beam installation is next. In all, 28 precast concrete perimeter roof beams are required, as well as 84 roof arch segments. Conforce Structures had less than a year for detailing, for the manufacture of forms, and to produce and direct the complex components. Cast in high-strength, semi-lightweight concrete, each perimeter beam weighs about 50 tons. Basically, a single steel form was used for all 28 perimeter roof beams. All precast roof segments are hollow to reduce weight and save material. The economy of the roof structure was achieved by the repetition of standard components. All 84 roof arches were poured in a single form. December 17th, 1985. Installation of the first 18-meter perimeter roof beam. December 20th, the 5th perimeter roof beam. Conforce Structures would need only 1 month for this phase of construction. January 17th, 1986. Perimeter roof beam installation was almost complete. From the outset, it was agreed that the key element in the ultimate success of the Oval was the concept of the roof structure.
Essentially, the architect started out to define a set of criteria that the structure should accommodate in terms of the functional requirements of the building, the requirements for speed skating, basically.
Barry Lester, partner Simpson Lester Goodrich, responsible for structural engineering design.
So we didn't start out to design a building that was unique or to find a structural system that was unique. We simply set out to find the one that was the most cost-effective. And I guess the exciting thing for us is that this new system that we developed, this intersecting arch roof system, was in fact the most logical and also the most cost-effective solution to the building.
February 17th, minus 25 degrees Celsius. The first roof arch segments. A typical segment measured 80 feet and weighed upwards of 50 tons. To support the intersecting arch segments, a temporary steel scaffolding system was necessary. The size of the spans of the one-of-a-kind roof was a major challenge. Project manager Peter Franklin.
We had to assume the responsibility of our own design and so forth for the support and temporary works to support approximately 8.5 million pounds of roof structure. We're pretty proud of that. It involved, I would say, from our organization, maybe a dozen, 12 to 15 people in different roles to think out the plan, design it, have it work.
March 27th, the final intersecting roof arch segment was put into place. Only 29 working days had been required. A remarkable achievement of precasting and installation within very close tolerances. April 8th, continuity of the arch segments was achieved by concreting the intersections or nodes. The high-strength semi-lightweight concrete used for the precast arches was also used to connect the elements at the nodes. Mid-April, post-tensioning of the roof arches. 4 groups of high-strength steel cables were winched through the ducts provided in each corner of the arch segments. Each group consists of 7 strands of 15mm high-tensile steel, 55 kilometers of cable altogether, over 34 miles. April 21st, the next critical step. The arches were pre-compressed by stressing the post-tension strands inside the arches. Each cable must be hydraulically stretched and tensioned to 80% of the ultimate capacity of the steel. The final phase of post-tensioning. A mixture of cement and water, forced under pressure through the roof arch ducts, effectively bonding the stressed steel cables to the intersecting arches. Also, in May, specially designed steel and rubber disc bearings installed at each buttress head. The rubber disc will transmit the weight of the roof to the buttress, but will allow the arches to hinge when the scaffolding is removed. With the bearings in place, all the remaining perimeter nodes were concreted, and the long span roof structure was ready to be released. June 17th, 1986, a most significant day. Removal of the temporary roof scaffolding commenced. Starting from one end, in careful sequence, each tower was lowered hydraulically, one leg at a time in 10mm increments. "31 steel towers in all, each tower supporting 300,000 pounds. June 23rd, the first tower unloaded. Only 4 stages of hydraulic jacking were needed. The first arch dropped only 43 millimeters, approximately 1.5 inches. July 7th, the 31st and final roof arch support tower was removed. For the first time, the 6,000-ton concrete arch structure supports itself. August 1st, 1986. Steel roof decking. The first of 5 layers of material that comprise the roof envelope. By early September, initial concrete work on one of the two hockey rink ice slabs was underway. Both hockey areas are of international Olympic dimensions. The speed skating track will consist of 2 levels of concrete containing polyethylene piping. The refrigerated top slab for freezing the ice. This heated bottom slab to prevent frost penetration into the subsoil. The underslab was poured September 15th, 125 millimeters thick, some 5 inches. This refrigerated slab system was designed by Lamb McManus and Associates. Final preparations for the upper slab. Alternate levels of insulation, polyethylene sheeting, a heavy grease lubricant. All covered by more sheeting, more insulation to allow the speed skating slab to accommodate contraction and expansion of 40 millimeters at each end, 1.5 inches. Altogether, more than 40 miles of polyethylene refrigeration piping will be cast inside the skating slabs. Among athletic facilities, the Olympic Oval Ice Plant is one of the world's largest. December 4th, the final speed skating concrete slab. A continuous pour for 20 hours to a depth of 160 millimeters. 6.5 inches of super plasticized concrete. With the need for an extremely even surface, special leveling units for maintaining very tight tolerances had to be developed. For international competition, near perfection is critical. In total, 30 hours of concrete finishing preceded 28 days of wet curing. Attractive, even lighting, bright enough for network television standards, will be achieved through a combination of reflected skylight and artificial light. The metal halide lamps are cost-efficient, computer-controlled, and positioned to avoid glare in the competitors' eyes. Early March, the multifaceted curved roof exterior was almost complete. Work on the roof had been continuous since the previous autumn, when a layer of galvanized metal was added to the structural decking. Next, a bituthene membrane to cover the metal surface. December, the 4th roofing layer, roughly 200,000 square feet of insulation, about 5 acres of it. The roof exterior would utilize 12,000 porcelain enamel steel panels. These pewter-colored panels were specially developed for the vast roof area. The light, shiny panel surface is highly reflective and helps to visually minimize the magnitude of the oval's roof. Late June, with landscaping underway, only finishing touches remain. Overall project cost, including relocation of sports facilities, $39.9 million. Prime consultant, Barry Graham.
I think there's been some great achievements in structural engineering, architecture, and things like lighting, which we feel is going to make a one-of-a-kind building and is going to show that we have a consultant group that has delivered a building that's as fine as anything that's ever been done in the world.
Opening day, Sunday, September 27th, 1987. A day that will transform the standards of Olympic speed skating forever. The interior design concept was to produce a cool and light space, appropriate for winter sports. And the use of blues, grays, and purples throughout helps achieve that feeling. The 200-meter backdrop acoustic wall was designed as a stage setting to enhance the visibility of the skaters. A specially designed light shelf system provides the best possible indoor environment. Natural skylight is reflected off a wide concrete ledge around the circumference of the oval, through the 3-meter-high band of glass, and onto the ceiling. The ambient light provided is sufficient for normal recreational purposes.
No doubt in the mind of any of us that the Olympic torch.
The Right Honorable Joe Clark, Minister of State for External Affairs, officially opened the Olympic Oval.
Will be a proud part of the proud history of the Olympic movement.
Olympic Oval. Another sports legacy for Canada. On a day long anticipated by the national speed skating teams.
And here comes our national speed skating team.
Olympic Oval. Anneau Olympique. Venue for the first Winter Olympic speed skating event staged indoors. Of long-term significance is the fact that this facility is a major part of the university's year-round physical education program. A sports field house linked to the sports medicine computers to allow monitoring of the athlete's vital signs during training. The kind of research required to lead to future Olympic medals for Canada.